We love new paper collections, and today we're all about Honeysuckle. Does that sound good?
Dazzles, foil paper tulle, embellies, papers, and bright colors.
Right, and wait till you see what the design team has done with them.
Come play with us.
Well, here's most of the collection.
We have papers, embellies, scrapbooking dazzles, and foil paper tulle.
And let's go first with the papers. Yes.
Yeah, let's see them.
So this is Honeysuckle. It is a double-sided set, and as you know, you're going to get scrapbook page ideas, card ideas, and even more on the back, but we're going to show you all of that, and then some kind of close-ups on the package. But let's look at them, you know, individually.
Let's get into those beautiful bright colors.
Thank you. So this is the overall pattern, and you can see, you talked about bright, fun colors. That pink and the that bright green and red. So just a really fun combination against the black. Very striking.
Right, it's kind of a sweet look, which you'll see why.
Now there's also a border print, which you can, as you know, you can play with it going lots of different ways. And that gray becomes a really nice neutral against which all the other colors are going to play.
I love the motifs on this one because you've got those, you've got bees, you've got honeycombs, you've got these beautiful honeysuckle vines in there.
And this is actually a good place to talk about how the artwork is done in that. Even just looking at this gray area, you can see that there's kind of ghosted images, but then behind that there's even more artwork. Same thing that's going on. You've got the colored images in the front, but the line art in gray and in white in the background. So there's just lots going on. I
lots
appreciate
of depth to our papers.
And I'll show you the back sides as soon as we're done with the front sides. There is that bright green, and you can see how well that's going to play off of everything. This is a tone on tone, but yet again, we've got the depth of design going on. And the next one is the same design, but in the reds and the pinks. So again, a really nice kind of neutral, don't you think?
Right.
Then we have all over honeycomb. And
you need that neutral to go with these brights, back and forth with them.
And you don't have to try to match something to it. And you'll see little bits of the artwork on each of these little hexagons.
I like those. It's like little windows onto the different pieces of paper.
It is, isn't it? And then the last one of the 6 is this black and white honeycomb. Very fun. So then on the back of these, as you can see, we've got some black dot on the bright pink. This is a small dot. Then we have a gray tone on tone,
which matches that border that you saw, that border paper. It's a little bit darker, but that same idea.
And we've got the pink, a little bit brighter than what we showed you. Then a gray dot on black, and a micro mini dot, so you can
which is really a honeycomb. If you're getting close, they're honeycombs, not dots.
I don't have my glasses on. I couldn't
it's
see.
Pretty tiny.
And then we have a red honeycomb. So lots of patterns, but lots of kind of neutrals to play off of them.
Right.
So
we also have a great ribbon set that goes with this. There are 12 ribbons in this set for the honeycomb, or excuse me, honeycombs. I'm saying that honeysuckle, and each ribbon is 36 inches long. And the super spectacular part of this one is this that was designed or supplied just for this collection. It's this beautiful glitter ribbon. It's got a little bit of depth to it.
It's on a velvet, I think.
Right, right. So that's a really beautiful piece, and we've got a pink mesh that goes with those bright papers. We have a nice pale green sheer. There's a white on black dotted edged. There's a black on pink dotted edged. You get a green grosgrain, pale green or ivory, I think, sheer. And let's see, here's kind of a neat one. This double edged, let's see if I can take it where you can see it. Double looped edged, and this is wired, so that makes some pretty neat designs. You've got a white vine and this great gray or silver glimmer. So lots of choices in there to go with this set.
And to go with this set, we have the embellies that you talked about. Now there's 28 pieces. And what I appreciate about this is the variety in this one little package. So as you can see, not only is there the bread, but there is the die cut piece that is behind it. Now this is a tag that you can computer journal or stamp, and there's a nice big floral. And then you also have the large epoxy brads, then the medium ones, and then the smaller ones, and then the pearls.
I have to say that my favorite is the Be Happy, so you
like
even
that?
got a little sentiment on one of those.
Very nice. So just a wonderful collection. Now we're going to start the projects just using the papers and the embellies, because I think it's nice to see, you know, how we progress. And look at this. This you saw on the header insert that went with the honeysuckle papers.
Right, and it's this great effect of making it just look like it's coming right out at you.
And what I love about this is it's so often, although they're double-sided, we don't use them to that. And I love that this is just perfect because it does so well use the back side of the paper.
I want to show you how to duplicate that torn look right in the center. You might ask, how do you tear in the center of your paper? You're going to see a few lines here that I'm just using to describe to you what's been done. So I've got a center line here, and I've got a center line here, just to show you where the center is. If I was going to start tearing the center of this, I'd actually fold it this way along this center line, and then I'm going to tear.
And it's a gentle fold. You're not creasing it.
Right. And I'm going to tear right along the center. I marked the center here too, down about 4.5 inches. I'm going to stop right there. That's going to happen on both sides. So I just start by tearing, and I just sort of try to keep it right along that center line. I wouldn't have marked this. I would just eyeball it, and if you go astray a little bit, it's not going to make much difference. Now I have that big torn center. I know where my center is in the beginning. I'm going to go about 1 inch to the left of that, and I'm going to tear down about 4 inches. And this is really just kind of, it's okay to just eyeball this. About 4 inches down that way. Little left to the center of here, 1 inch. To the right. And I'm gonna turn it around to do that, since I know where that is. It's
that
easier to tear. Yeah. And there we go. Tear about 4 inches. Now I've got it back to where I need it, and when I pull it up, that gives me sort of a, if I pull it back from that point to that point where it's torn, it gives me sort of an off triangle, not a perfect triangle, more of a right angle.
Let me pull this one.
And so each one, so it gives you a little bit off center. Instead of a perfect square, you're going to get like this off-center rectangle.
Right. So that's how Lene did this, to get these uneven triangles as you pulled them back.
Right.
And because you're tearing both sides, you will have white on some sides, you'll have paper on the other. That's just the nature of the tearing.
Which I think adds tremendously. I like to get the white if I can. It's a nice look.
I think it's fun as these bubbles are kind of popping out. Now, we talked about embellies. So we have the Happy that's been used. Now that is out of a cutting die, the Happy Birthday, but this is the embelly. There's another one just kind of hugging the bottom, the descender of the Y, and we have added some of the petaloo flowers. Now we are great fans of petaloo, so we have added some of those, and look, these are nested into the torn area, kind of resting on the photos.
A little bit of a collage effect there, and then you just let them sort of, the embellies hang loose out here while the flowers are holding down the corner there.
They kind of extend that collage right there. And this is one of another embelly that was computer journaled. And if you're not sure how to do that, on the website you can go to the inspiration area. So Scrapbooking 101, Card Making 101, or Stamping 101, all of them give you a video about how to do the computer journaling.
And it is very simple.
It is super simple, but a good technique to know. So that is our first page using just the embellies, and here is our first card just using the embellies and the honeysuckle.
So this is a nice mix of the papers. You get a little dark, a little bright, and a big band of white, light, excuse me, right here with that border paper down at the bottom.
I thought it was so cute to do B on it, and then that same cutting die, and you can see the embellies there and there, and on the inside that border that was used for this center is used vertically on the inside.
So that's a nice surprise.
Very nice. So that's our first combination. And now we're going to go to adding our scrapbooking dazzles. So now on this set, we've peeled away the black backing.
Right, so that you can see it.
Yeah, just a little bit better. And these are the new dazzles. We're really excited because we are able to have bigger areas. These are 8 inches by 9 inches. That may not sound like a big deal, but it took several years to get this done, and it means that we can have larger images that are perfect for scrapbooking.
Wonderful. So you're going to get 2 sheets that are this size,
2 different
with
designs.
different images on both of those, but you also get this additional neat little dazzle addition.
So we're able to add different colors, and let me flip this over so you can see some of the artwork. There are 296 pieces in here, including the pink flowers as well as the 2 sheets. So you get a good look at that.
Lots of ideas in there. There are words, there are borders, this beautiful artwork that's going to match those papers.
And here we go with a scrapbook page. In fact, I have a double page spread to show you, and this is using that border. As you know, you get 12 sheets of paper, so 2 of each. This was just used along the top, which works just perfectly.
It does. It ties it together so nicely, and I like the addition of those bright colored papers here with some of the dark and a nice mix with the photos. It's just beautiful.
And I like how the dazzles are overlapping going into the photos. It just always feels like it kind of brings everything together.
Right. With just a little something backing dazzles, you can get these cute little flowers. I have one of the dazzles that I cut out of the sheet here. It looks like this, just one of those flowers. And if you peel that off, and I'm gonna just grab a corner, and they're very simple to peel off. They'll hold their shape, and stick that on the pattern paper, and then you can just cut around that image with scissors, with detail scissors. It's super simple. You just cut around the outside edge of those dazzles, and I'm just gonna spend a little time going around. It doesn't take very long.
And the edge of the dazzle will kind of guide your scissors. Now, the scissors that Gail is using are designed to be really easy to use. And when you had hand surgery, this was a lifesaver.
Oh yeah, these got me back into crafting really quickly.
But you're still using them.
I am still using them because they're great for detail scissors, and they're spring-loaded. I like that. You know, you let go, they pop right open. So that's kind of nice. So you can just continue around. That's what we call backing a dazzle. And when you're all done, you'll have this piece that's just got the back of the paper on the dazzle, and then you just glue it onto wherever you want it to be.
By the way, those scissors are on page 2 of the September catalog, just in case you want to take a look. The other thing, and the play that I'm so excited about with these new dazzles, as we get in closer, you can see that we've added the pink flower dazzles into the center, and that just gives a little bit of bling.
Right.
And as we like to say, it's the bling without the bump, because that's flat.
Yeah.
Perfect for scrapbooking, but also card making.
So a few of those, and then you've got this large Your Sweet Like Honey dazzle. That was just placed on white cardstock, and then this part was colored in with Spectrum Noir pens.
Right, which is our marker of choice, because it's going to give you all the wonderful blending abilities and so forth, but the price is so good, and we appreciate that from the folks.
Right. And I like that this one was colored in too. This was colored in red, these were colored in yellow, and then one of those tiny little jewel dazzles flowers was placed right on the center.
And this is the companion page. We had someone request that we sometimes do double page spreads, and you know, nothing dramatic in the second page. We really just take the same elements, but perhaps we're going to twist them. So these are vertical, these are more horizontal,
right.
And the same papers were used, and just I guess with an addition of the bright pink
Sure,
one.
and you can just mix the matting a little bit. So
Right.
if you mat one on the darker, you might mat the other one on a little bit brighter color.
Yeah, lots of choices. So this is our scrapbook page that we've added the scrapbooking dazzles. Here is our card. Now this is out of the new shaped cards. So you can either get them already done, or you can get the template and make your own. So that's
plus
the
when you
choices.
have the template, then you can make that card based on any colored cardstock that you like.
Right. And those of you who got these and tried to make your own template, you know, for $6.99, this is just easier.
Plus it has the paper patterns all on there and everything.
So here we have What's the Buzz? That's the Dazzles. In fact, everything that you're seeing is the Dazzles and the paper. And What's the Buzz? And friend.
It's a place to write in there. That's
Little
great. And the
message.
paper patterns were used with the to cut the pieces that you see here. The bees that are on here, they were colored in. Like I talked a little bit about it in the last one. I've got one of those bees here and some white cardstock. And I'm just going to remove the bee from the dazzled backing here. There we go. Comes right off. Place it on cardstock. When I'm all done doing what I want with this, then I can just cut out around that the way I did with the other one and back that. But I'm going to start by coloring these in. Now, I don't recall, I have two here that are using CT1, CT3. These are from the yellow Spectrum Noir set, but I don't recall which one is darker, so I'm going to sort of tell it. There's a kind of a light, and let's see, this one. I think that's the darker one. So I would start off with the lighter one, which I think I decided was this one. Thank you. And I'm just going to color in the body because that's what I believe Lene did with this one, Lene or Susan. And you just color in, very simple, right inside there. So that doesn't take very long at all for one bee. And then you go to that darker color, and I would just add a highlight just on one side of that. Make sure you can see that. Just on one edge. So I'm just trying to keep it right on the top edge so it makes a little bit of a shadow there. And it makes a big effect. You can get a lighter to a darker look.
And you don't have to do anything on the wings, obviously. Now, in this case, the bodies are foam taped and the wings are left loose, kind of like what we do with butterflies, but we are doing the same thing on all of them. And just very, very, very sweet.
Very sweet,
nice
I agree.
To add those shiny flowers in the center
And
of the
I like
flowers.
that the card was done, this was done using that template because it's done on the black cardstock. So.
Now, if you had the die-cut cards, you could ink it.
Right.
So that would be a way. Now I have another card that's also using the Dazzles, and this is also adding a toolkit. So this is the toolkit number 3. And
it's very simple to just trace the paper with the design toolkit, cut it out, and then this was matted on white cardstock afterwards.
Right, so there's What's the Buzz? We've got flowers now. I think it's fun how the flowers are overlapped and extending beyond that shaped oval scallop.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah. Also, the bees, only the wings were backed with white cardstock.
Oh, so it's the reverse.
And and the rest of it was just placed on there so you can see the paper through the bee.
So we've got What's the Buzz? Wishing you a birthday that's as sweet as can be.
Great, and that label shape is directly from the design toolkit as well.
Right, same one. So that's working. Now we have another extra thing that you can do, and it is also with the bees, and we'll want to get in really close down here, and so we can see what else was done. And as I wiggle this, you're seeing some micro glitter.
Micro glitter on a glittered bee, and I can show you briefly how we do that. That starts with double-sided adhesive, which looks like this. And I'm going to cut a square that's about, it's going to fit my bee on there. I put it sort of at an angle so that it fits. And I'm going to peel one side off. And then I'm going to start working with the glitter. So let me put it on my little glitter holder sheet over here. And here's the micro glitter. It's this super fine glitter we've been using a lot lately, and it's just great for making beautiful effects very simply. Just sprinkle it all over there.
And even people who aren't fans of using glitter absolutely flip with this process of using. Now this micro glitter is clear, so it's just going to add that glittery finish.
It's got just a, I don't know what the coloring is in it that makes it sparkle the way it does, but I'm gonna start by glittering it, burnishing it in, which is pushing it into the adhesive with my thumb, and then pulling it out of the way and shaking off a little bit, burnishing it again.
And don't add more glitter when you go to these other 2 steps of burnishing. You just want to impale the glitter into the adhesive.
Right.
And by the way, this adhesive, we get it from Holland.
Oh.
And it is, it's not like the Ultra tape, super sticky, and it's also not wimpy. It's right in the middle there,
right,
and just works perfectly.
It is it's perfect for our what we're using it for today,
yes,
too. So here's that dazzle. I've already burnished it. I've shaken off all the excess glitter.
And you did it 3 times. I witnessed
3
that.
times, except for what's on my fingers. So you might see it floating around just because it's still on my fingers. And peel this off, which is pretty easily done.
Now, one thing, I've seen some people demonstrate this, and they have you do something to the back of the dazzle to lessen the stickiness, and that's not something we recommend. We think you should just put it right on. That way it's going to stick to the glitter very nicely.
And it does, it sticks. It's on there. It's not really coming off. It'll hold it on there.
Right.
I mean, you could, if you worked at it, you could pick it up. So now it's on there. The next thing I would do is probably go ahead and cut out around the edges so that I would have that adhesive. But I'm gonna color it in first, which is what Susan did. Whoops, use the other end with one of the yellow Spectrum Noir pens. You can color right over the glitter.
Now, the yellow that you're seeing is the backing paper. It's going to be removed, so
right,
that's why you have to add the yellow.
Right.
Now, you're stroking it, but you know
I'm not
you're not supposed to.
I'm supposed to pounce it.
Yes.
I forgot.
And the reason why, we've just got to watch this
Well,
woman.
it does. See, and I can see the reason why I shouldn't have done that. I can see little balls of glitter on my pen.
Yeah, and you don't
and
want
on
that.
there, and that's why I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, pouncing up and down.
Good girl.
And so the next thing I would do would be to cut this out, but I'm not going to go
Right,
through that stuff. But I will show you what it looks like after you peel that other side off.
And this is what's so neat, is
There,
that
you can see
translucent
that, right,
quality that the that you get on the wings.
Right. So in this case, yeah, pull it in. In
Okay.
this case, you could, after this is cut out, oh, it's so shimmery.
Isn't it pretty?
You could, after it's cut out, is just stick it in place.
Right.
Or you can glitter the other side, and then you have wings that you can pick up and have
Yes.
glittery on both sides. So
Yes,
there's
which
options.
is a nice
I
look.
think that Susan backed that part on white
think you're
cardstock,
right.
the center, before she stuck and let the wings stick it down in
Yeah,
place.
I think she did that too. So she did it there. She also did it right there, and backed the dazzles right down here, as you can see. And you can see those little pops of pink color in the center of all those flowers, and those are the dazzles that are included in the package. So we've got Be Happy.
So that's great. You don't have to get additional dazzles to get that little sparkle that comes with the scrapbooking dazzles now.
And this is these are nice little groupings to remember. That one, things that you can use multiple places. Now, this is one page. Here is the companion page, and I wanted to show this to look what the border is doing.
That's the first thing that I saw. It is the dazzles put right on the photo so you can see through to the photo, and it just makes such a nice border.
It's very, very nice. We've got another little glittery bee down there. And then up here, using this one at the top of a photo.
Right. And the dazzle actually first was backed, just that border, that banner piece on the green paper, and then the rest of it was backed on the pink.
Right, so pretty look. Also, look at the border up here, and that's from that all over honeycomb.
And you can just cut out the portion that
Cute.
you need to create a border.
Very nice.
Oh, that's just little pieces of ribbon sticking out too.
And there's another combination. Now, the one thing we haven't used so far is this, and these are the foil. My favorite paper tool is foil. And as you probably know, these are die cut for you, and we'll get in close to kind of just walk through how you would put them together. So see, there's a red number 1. There are pink number ones, and there is a yellow number one, and that's your indicator of which ones go together. Very often it's obvious, but every now and again it's not.
Yeah, you might see a bee that
yeah.
might fit on two different things, so that's why they're numbered. And this is great because there's always 3 designs on these papers, so you're going to see this one motif down at the bottom is the honeycomb with the honeycomb down at the bottom with the beehive and the bee. That's a beautiful one.
And there's always extra art too. So this number 1, that's going to get glued down to your project. Then number 2, you'll pop out and foam tape it and line up the imagery so that it matches. Same thing with number 3, wherever it is.
Number 4
and 4
and 5.
Right. So that's how they're going to go together.
And these are great because you can computer journal on these, and you might see an example of it, or stamp. Yeah.
Okay, so here is the page. Now this is using the papers, the embellies, the dazzles, and the foil paper tulle. And there is that border again, so beautifully going along the bottom edge.
It is beautiful. I like the embellies tags. It's easy to add to a scrapbook page on there. You can write on it, you can computer journal on it. In the background, you're also seeing a very large piece, which comes from another one of our templates.
Right, that supersized mat is from the scallop frames, and this is an oldie but a goodie. I mean, as much fun as it is to see new product, it's great to be able to use what we have in our stash, or maybe take a second look at it.
So that you've got that large bit coming out here with that beautiful green paper, and it's been inked a little bit so it pops.
And cutting it off the edge, I think, is really a nice idea.
Well, it's kind of hard to want to cover up that beautiful artwork on the border.
Is. That would be wrong in so many levels. Now, you mentioned that honeycomb, and that's on the foil paper tulle, so here it is. Actually, the border is a little bit longer, but we've trimmed it off for this page. There is a smaller of the scallop frame and the embellies mixed with the dazzles, and I think that's just a beautiful look.
It is beautiful. So lots of those leaf and vine dazzles peeking out here, and because they're dark and kind of on a dark paper, you want them to pop a little bit, so add some of the embellies around it, and those pink jewel dazzles.
And the shine that the dazzles give, as you can see as I wiggle this, is really showing them, even though it's black against black.
It gives a nice finished look with that little bit of gloss on there.
And then this is a nice inside use. Again, now this time it's doing the foil paper tulle with the dazzles, but letting that go at the top. You've got plenty of room to write your message.
What I like about the foil paper tulle is that there's always a little extra artwork. There might be an extra flower that you can put on, but also you don't have to use every piece that's in one of those stacking images. You can save a piece and put it elsewhere on your card.
Exactly.
Or your scrapbook page.
And here's another way you can do it of being your friend is so much fun, and there is the full length of that border, the foil, and just because, so you can do some fun with that.
There's going to be a lot of that with these
there
papers.
Will be. Now here's a totally different look, and this is using the oval swing card, or, as you know,
the template, this had to be the template. Again, this is done on black, so you can do either, but this is great. There's also, with this particular card, there's a pattern to get this oval paper that was cut here and on the inside.
Right, that will be in the gallery. So we're not meaning to confuse you. There are ovals on the template. There are also oval patterns on the inside of the die-cut cards, but this is different.
So it's the patterns that you get with the die-cut cards or with the oval swing card template will allow you to cut the pieces that you see here. Here, there's also an oval for both sides, but this is a different oval. There's a tiny little oval that's been set on the center of that foil paper tulle, which that could also have just been computer journaled on without adding that piece of paper, but it's a nice mix.
In fact, I wanted to show you this because it's a little tricky to see. This is the piece that was put onto the oval. So you can kind of see it poking out behind.
And it was backed on paper so that when it gets opened up, you could it wouldn't just be white on the back.
See, that gives you a better look at that oval, at that paper tulle.
And it doesn't interfere with that swing action on that card.
No, I think it's, and I have to tell you, I would never have thought of doing this because I would have looked at this and this is a vertical presentation, and I kind of would have thought of it that way. But to turn it this way and to think, oh, okay, this is smaller, but you know what? It's still going to work beautifully.
Well,
so I can use it.
It's a good thing to remember to try to turn everything sideways once in a while, because even the swing cards can be turned sideways and used in a different way.
And there we have. I hope your day is extra special. So very sweet, and just having a little of the embellies right down there.
Oh, and the jewel dazzles that are used on this. There's a nice mix. There are black border jewel dazzles and pink jewel border dazzles.
That must be why I have these over here to show you.
And on the inside, there are black jewel and pink jewel dazzles, not the border dazzles we're using. So it's a nice mix.
It is a nice mix. Very striking, very striking. And now there's something else that's going on.
Different.
Yes, there is a Honeysuckle Artful Card Kit. Isn't that interesting? Yes, it completely matches the Honeysuckle papers. As a matter of fact, does that look familiar? Well, here it is in 8.5 by 11. Not all the papers were duplicated into the 12 by 12, but many of them. Of course, there are 7 in here. But what is amazing with this is all of the die cuts. So there's all of these die cuts.
You get a lot of beautiful die cuts. You get messages and sayings on that printout paper that's there, and some of the other papers that you get with it are beautiful.
So if you want to take the Honeysuckle Artful Card Kit and take those 66 die cuts and add them to your Honeysuckle papers, and add something that we have not talked much about is our flip-flop fasteners.
Right. Were they used on this one too?
They were used on this one, and let me show you right here. There's the hello.
Right.
And just breeze by to say hi.
Buzzing by.
Buzzing by, and then hope you're having a sweet day. So all of these die cuts are part of the Artful Card Kit.
And then that
flip-flop fasteners.
Flip-flop fasteners, which they're great. They're transparent. I'm going to show you the back if I can. They're transparent. They're adhesive, and so you just put one side.
They're like a butterfly bandage.
There we go. There we go. Now you can see them. So you sit them on that side, and they just make it so that you can add something.
In fact, here's the art on the package. They're like this. They're 2 sizes. They're 75 on the sheet. And you can use them for card making, as we just showed you. You can also use them on scrapbook pages. This is from a personal shopper scrapbooking classes.
Okay.
But look at this, how it pops up. Again, this is using some of the die cuts from that Artful Card Kit.
But that's just a cute idea, and I like that there's journaling on all of those, which you can easily computer journal on those die cuts.
And if you did this on a scrapbook page, you could just cut a slit in your sheet protector, bring this on top, and then let it fold down. So you've got a nice little
interactive
ensemble
piece,
there. Right. So here are the die cuts and the Honeysuckle papers.
I have to point out that once in a while in these projects, you're going to see a ribbon that is not included in that Honeysuckle set. We're seeing more than one project here. That's not in there. That one's not in there. But
and that's because this is from a personal shopper scrapbooking classes. But nonetheless, I wanted you to see the mixture of those die cuts, and just know that that gives you yet another opportunity. Speaking of opportunities.
This is a great
one. Was that good? Was that a nice
segue.
They didn't even notice? Okay.
I didn't either.
This is the download that's for free, and it's on the website when you go to the Honeysuckle papers.
So you're saying you don't have to buy anything to get this?
No, you didn't know that.
Wow.
No, this is just because we think you're pretty special.
Well, that's cool. I want it.
And it can be yours.
And this is beautiful. You get artwork on here that you don't get anywhere else. This is the only place to get it. I love all the additional, the brouhaha that's on that. That's just beautiful. Brouhaha, whatever. And this is a beautiful, and it is, and I love there's extra labels, so this is just a beautiful piece to have.
So just one of the things we do because we think you're pretty special and we appreciate your shopping with us, and thank you for joining us today.
Hope you enjoy Honeysuckle.